Hey folks, Eric here, the Whatever Guy, because it really is whatever for me. And do you folks want to know about the DEA likely going to reschedule marijuana? You guys stick around, man, and we'll talk about that. As you guys know, man, my name's Eric. I'm the Whatever Guy, and I usually shoot videos a couple days a week, basically keeping you guys updated in the world Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, hemp cannabis, what's going on around. And today, man, sitting here bullshitting around in my kitchen slash eBay packaging room, if that's what you guys want to call it. I know you guys watch these videos and see these packages and stuff in the background, obviously, that the cat is sitting on. Those packages are my chick, man. She runs a real big eBay store. You can usually find a link for her eBay store, which is mostly kids' clothes and stuff like that, down in the link in the description. If you can't find it, let me know. But sitting here bullshitting around on early Friday morning, getting ready to talk to you guys about this DEA. Also, I went over to Off City Labs last week. For those of you that aren't aware, man, I wasn't aware that there is actually an extraction lab company that's actually close to me within an hour. They've got some of their own products, but that plant is actually leveraged for extraction. So when you go in that plant, they've got a lot of hemp biomass in there and stuff like that. They are extracting the ingredients that people would normally make their gummies and stuff with. Now they carry their own gummies, they carry their own tincture. They actually have probably one of the best pain cooling or warming gels on the market, created by a doctor from the NFL. They've also got these really cool calm gummies. They've got these energy CBDV gummies, and they've also got these 25 milligram Delta 8 chocolates and 25 milligram Delta 8 gummies. That's really the only thing they carry down there. It's something to be said for those companies out there that really concentrate on a couple of smaller products or just a few products. They do a really fucking good job with these right here, man. I was extremely surprised. These Delta 8 gummies are off the charts, and so are these Delta 8 chocolates. If you guys are looking at Off City Labs, you can actually go to offcity.com and check them out. I'm going to get my code of whatever over there, and you guys will be able to order and take a look at some of their stuff. But you guys are going to be seeing some of this stuff on this channel here in the future. Talking about this DEA, we talked about this many times on this channel. Talking about the move to Schedule 3. I'm a big arguer against the move to Schedule 3. I've said many times before, we ought to just just deschedule it. However, the conversation was that the HHS, the Health and Human Resources, our services came out, and they basically made a recommendation to move marijuana to Schedule 3. But there's been some argument back and forth that the DEA really doesn't have to listen to anything that the HHS has to say. So we're going to switch over to this article right here, and this is basically going to break it down for us in a little bit easier to understand mode that we can figure out what's going on here. Because even though I have stated on this channel before that the DEA does not have to take the HHS's recommendation, they actually made a statement on September 13th that basically bounds them by law to defer to the U.S. Department of Health. So it does appear that we are going to get a move to Schedule 3. For those of you that aren't aware, a move to Schedule 3 would basically mean that marijuana has been proven to have beneficial qualities, obviously not addictive. And then obviously it would be something that they would have to prescribe in the future. Again, I'm a big proponent for descheduling, but this is a big move, especially now that I'm understanding exactly that the DEA is bound by law to pay attention to what the Health and Human Resources says. So I'm going to read a little bit of this for you guys, so you guys can understand what's going on. It says the DEA will likely reschedule marijuana following federal health regulators' August 29th recommendation, according to a government analysis. The DEA confirmed to Congress in 2020 that it is bound by law to defer to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services on matters of science and health, according to a September 13th report by the Congressional Research Service, the federal government public policy think tank. The analysis means that the nation's drug police are unlikely to block a potentially revolutionary advance in federal drug policy. And that has major implications for U.S. marijuana industry, as well as cannabis users seeking federal jobs or assistance, including military service and public housing. That's where I'm at, guys. I spent 20 years in the military myself. And the whole time I was in the military, being honest, just putting it out there, I smoked marijuana, even though we have the drug tests and stuff on the backside. Marijuana is something that helps guys, especially guys in the military with their PTSD and pain management and stuff like that. So people in the military have been using marijuana for a long time behind the scenes and trying to find ways to get past that drug test. All right. The DEA has testified in response to questioning at a congressional hearing in 2020 that is bound by the Food and Drug Administration recommendations on scientific and medical matters. That's the main thing to understand here, guys. The HHS recommendation to DEA that marijuana be moved from Schedule 1 of the Controlled Substances Act to Schedule 3 was part of an ongoing federal review of the drug's legal status that President Joe Biden called for last October. That's a lie. My understanding is that he basically did not direct them to do that. He was having a speech and he basically said it and they took it as law, but he never directed them to specifically do this. Matter of fact, when they came out and did it, he's taking credit for it. However, this is not something that he actually directed the HHS to do. Like I said, he just made a statement and then the HHS ran with it. The DEA is now tasked with reviewing how that classification affects questions of law and policy. The agency also must propose an appropriate change to federal law. The DEA's analysis and subsequent proposal could be completed by the end of the year, with changes to federal law finalized as early as next spring. The implications of rescheduling for the cannabis industry would include the elimination of Section 280E of the federal tax code, which bars marijuana businesses from taking normal tax deductions on their federal returns. For those of you that aren't out that don't know, the majority of the people that are out there on the marijuana industry are basically operating on a cash only basis because they don't have any insurance basically in the banking industry. So those people find out there at any point that they're breaking federal law, they can just snatch their money. So a lot of these people are basically a cash only type of business, and because of that, because of the Schedule 280 or this Rule 280 of the tax code, they could not apply for the standard deductions that most people get. So they were basically paying the full amount of tax on this with no deductions whatsoever. Another key change is that Schedule 3 drugs are legally available only with a doctor's prescription and after a rigorous FDA federal approval process. Okay, guys, that's pretty much the end of this. I'm not going to go down any further. I don't think that is the end of it. Basically, guys, it is a good thing that we are moving to Schedule 3. I can agree with that now, especially that I understand that the HHS basically, or the DEA is basically bound by law to defer the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services on matters of science and health. I didn't know that before. My understanding was that the DEA did not have to take this recommendation, but it appears at this point in the game that by the end of this year, we will be moved to Schedule 3, which means that the majority or everybody in the United States will be able to get marijuana at least on a prescription basis in these other states that are not allowing marijuana. All right, folks, this is Thewhateverguy signing off. I hope everybody had a great week. I hope everybody's appreciates the video, and I'll talk to you guys later, man. Love you. See ya.